Hi, I'm Daniel, and it has been a pretty long time since I've let you inside my mind. Well, I'm sure that I could just act like it hasn't been and just, go on with some random thought I had, but first, I probably want to answer the question some of you may have. Where have you been? Short answer, around. The long answer, I've been trying to work within the place that I've found that I can make the most impact on this world, on this local community, on this local region. See, for the past year, I've been working as a part time literacy tutor in Racine. I have 10 wonderful kids that I get to see 5 days a week, and I get to help them become even better readers. And the reason that I first started doing it was actually my grandfather. As I've talked about before, my grandfather couldn't read. Um, and I know that that's something that he really, it wore on him at points. So I thought that it would be meaningful for me just to be able to help, kids learn to read so that they weren't kind of stuck with that regret like my grandfather. But over time, doing the job, I realized that really, it's also just kind of what I needed too. You see, since I got out of college, so actually 10 years ago, this October, I believe, was when I took my first full time job in journalism in Kimball, Nebraska. And ever since then, I had a fast paced life. I took maybe 3 vacations throughout 9 or 10 years, and I was always working. And everything, every single day had to be new. So I didn't have time to focus on a lot of things. I was always constantly trying to fill newspapers because you have to in print journalism, at least. But then, you know, after 2020, August 2020, I found myself with more time. I found myself starting to slow down. And then I found myself wanting to try to do something meaningful. And so that's how I landed as a part time tutor. And what I've learned while doing it is that I spent a very long time of my life trying to convince adults what was good or honest or true. And I was speaking to plugged ears. I was writing in journals where the pages were already filled. I was pouring water into an already overflowing cup. Because you see, adults are very, 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 very hard to change. They have their beliefs, they have their convictions, and they've had enough time to let them settle in. Unless they are constantly doing some sort of self analysis and reevaluating themselves, after a certain point, that's probably just all you're going to get out of them. But kids, kids still carry the best qualities of humans without our frailties. I'll give you an example. So, maybe a week or two ago, I was having a bad day, and one of my kids came in the room and sat down. And right before we were about to start, I realized that he's just staring at me. And I looked at him like, "What, buddy?" He just goes, "Are you sad?" I was like, "Damn, yeah, buddy, having just an off day." And then redirect into doing all the things that we're supposed to do, and then we're walking back to class. And as I open up the door to his classroom, and he's about to go in, he looks up at me, smiles, and then he hugs me. Then he goes in, and I shut the door, and I smiled too. That's the good part of being people. You want other people to feel okay, or you want them to know they're not alone, or you just want them to feel something different. So you give it to them. That's the kind of thing that I haven't really gotten from adults in a pretty long time. So taking that moment and kind of just realizing that I've had many moments like that, I realized where the hope truly lies for the future. It's not in trying to change adults back into more critical thinkers or having some kind of care for people that they currently demonize and don't care about at all. No, it's trying to preserve that quality of caring about people, no matter who they are or what they've done or where they've been. Preserving that compassion in our children. Well, I guess technically your guys' children. I don't have any kids. I just teach yours how to read. But that's kind of physically where I've been. Mentally, all over the place. I honestly couldn't tell you where I've been there for the past few months. Didn't really keep detailed notes. What I do know is that I'm at a place now where I'm okay. I'm fine. Are things where I want them to be? No. Some things are getting pretty close. Some things I only have to wait maybe a few more months to get after years of hard work. Other things I might as well be reaching for the moon. But isn't that just life? Quite simply, I'm trying to be better. And I'm trying to give myself time to be better. And I'm trying to learn not to let all the heartbreaks that have come throughout these years keep me from shutting the door on all the things that are still good that are out there that could come my way. And sometimes it's really damn hard to keep that door open. But so far, I have. And I hope you have too. So, am I going to bail out again for months? No. I will try my best to at least do an episode once a week. Talk about something in the world, in my mind. If you ask me a question, something in your mind. But I don't want to hide out anymore. Yes, I enjoy my personal space. But shutting the door wasn't the answer either. So I'll try to never shut that door ever again. Well, that's enough of me rambling, right? You take care of yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. This is a mean old world to live in all on your own, if you are. And it's a very, very hard world to make it through, even if you're two. But maybe as long as we stick together and all of us look out for each other, we all just might make it through. Till next time, take care.